yeah, regardless, definitely expecting a lot of action in the early stages of this game.
You do, and I think mid is perhaps the only stable place of the map, right? And even then, there should be a lot of trading coming out back and forth. Something about the Syndra-Gragas matchup as well is I think it does always force Gragas to go towards that Rod of Ages, which is completely fine on him, but does mean that you're going to have a little bit less pressure in some of those early skirmishes, which can be a little worrying as true to the Pause Championship Series. We do have a pause. At least we got to game number 3 before we got it.
Not bad.
Probably a new record, actually.
Yeah, usually it's in like game 1 or 2, so game 3 is definitely showing an improvement.
I wonder what it is then, because if it's something that hasn't been picked up earlier in the series, I wonder.
The vibes are off.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, tactical pause. But yeah, I mean, once again, kind of probably looking towards this Fiora. I think something that I do want to bring up, actually, hold that thought. We will return straight back into the game. Level 1 coming out here from Beyond. They might find Driver in this bush.
Oh, this is a really good angle. Kino, Driver just instantly flashing away. I feel like he could have just started E or something and just
I wonder.
flashed away. I guess he already... Oh,
did not have a skill point at all, so honestly was just very surprised, perhaps, but feels like there's multiple ways to do that, right? You can either trade flashes with the Nort hook, when it comes out, especially if Nort goes for that flash hook, or you can learn E, like you said, and unfortunately just instantly flashes, and that makes you very vulnerable to something like a 3-camp top from Kongyue. We'll have to see if he goes for that. I think a rough start here for our Renekton. First strike on mission as well. Kind of makes sense in this lane. Not a lot you can do to actually completely chunk out the Gragas. Everything else, though, is looking relatively normal. Driver, he's going to lose a lot of... Oh, no. A little bit. He's going to... Thought Lakai would have heavy traded that just to kind of set up for that 3-camp top. Even if you kind of come out worse on the health trade, getting Driver lower would set up for some kind of early gang. Now, Driver, he dropped the ward in the river, and that is going to keep him safe from any sort of 3-camp pressure. But we'll see. Perhaps Kongyue, he's found some very interesting angles before. Could maybe find them again. And it looks like mid-priority will go the way of mission, kind of expected. Hook comes out bot, a little bit of damage traded back, but no one at level 2 means nothing more than just a little bit of damage traded over. Mission hits level 2, gets a nice little trade there in mid. And Kongyue, he picks up the red and I think probably will path towards bot, unless he wants to go for a top dive. But it feels like it's pretty difficult to dive a Renekton super early into the game. Most likely we'll just see him path away towards that bot side, but I'm keeping my eyes on him. 116 trading back a little bit in that midway. And then it looks like Kongyue will end up pathing towards the bot side, so Driver isn't going to be the victim of any sort of early pressure up here.
For a top lane trade start, I think League actually found the parry onto Driver, which is really big in the Fiora versus Renekton matchup. Being able to parry that stun just gives you pretty much free reign over the rest of the trade.
Certainly does, and once again, the Impunity bot lane shoved in very heavily and down a massive amount of CS. Obviously, you have a huge wave to pick up, but it's not the easiest to just CS this up against the constant pressure from the Varus. Have to see how much Atlan can actually grab, and you're kind of expecting that, I think, out of the Kai'Sa Rakan. Obviously, not the strongest early lane, and something like the Varus, particularly with the Hail of Blades, has a lot of pressure, but you can see already has himself a full wave up in CS, and that's a great start here from the side of Beyond.
Yeah, BYG really flexing their muscles in the bot lane. Kino providing so much pressure with the Nautilus, even just sitting there. Impunity had to be so careful not to step a little bit out of place, because getting 1 kill onto the Varus early on can just snowball very quickly out of control.
Now, Kongyue, he's picking up that bot scuttle, and Alex could look for something top.
Driver finds the stun. That's the Fury stun as well. Likai ghosting away. It's going to make it out this time. They're going to take that one and run to the bank with that. Driver, somehow after losing his flash, still is, trying to maintain equality in the top lane.
Yeah, and I think maybe if he did have the flash, could have been double flashes used to secure the kill into Lakai, but without that, won't be able to. It looks like Scuttle Crabs will just be traded. Kongyue grabbed the bot one, Alex now grabs the top one, and will cross mid, so will be revealed there, is pinged out. So far, Gold is slightly favoring the side of Beyond. It mainly is in that bot side. The Varus, currently quite far ahead in CS, as is expected.
Well, Kongyue's here.
Oh, Driver. He does not have the flash just yet.
This is really serious. He uses the E as well. I don't think he spotted... Oh, actually, he's going to be able to dash out of there with that second E charge. Causes a bit of damage for that, but Likai taking a lot of damage from the minions for himself as well. Pretty big that Driver actually manages to survive there.
Yeah, the wave is still in a very rough spot for him, though. I think maybe he's going to try crash it before Lakai gets the base off. Kongyue, he's pinging onto him, but it doesn't look like they're able to drive it. He's going to be able to crash that wave, which is very, very important for him. If this got frozen, would be in an extremely difficult position. But we'll just be able to get that reset, and you kind of have to think that early flash now has been pretty much mitigated completely.
Yeah. Really good looks from Driver. You know, it looked like a really rough start for him, but able to neutralize that. And not give anything away to the side of BYG. Kino finding the flash hook, but Mission going to trade flashes by himself. Still definitely a very good look for BYG.
Especially when it kind of comes to that level 6.
Yeah.
It could be very gankable with the Gragas flash onto that immobile Syndra. We'll have to try and protect Mission with wards. It is the Dirk grabbed by Feng, and I wonder if that means he will just play Lethality. And I think that kind of makes sense in this game just because if you're ever on the same screen as Impunity, you're going to be getting engaged on, so having more range for yourself does make a lot of sense. And they also have a lot of damage. As Kino, he's looking aggressive.
Ooh. It doesn't choose to throw the hook this time. But yeah, I definitely do agree. I feel like BYG, especially when they're looking for Viego resets as well, I feel like having that lethality Varus provides the extra bit of burst, to find that first reset. Because that's really the hardest part when you're playing Viego, just getting that first set of abilities to play with.
And now Kongyue, he starts up this drag, currently has a lot of that bot priority, especially with the strength of the Dirk Varus. This will be Dragon picked up nice and early, but perhaps there's a trade on the top side. Mission has priority and he's moving towards Lakai's lane. Most likely will just go back mid, but just the fact that he's not showing on the map makes Lakai feel very scared, walks away. Now, 116 has to be careful.
Oh, gets stunned up, Alex. Doesn't have 6 quite yet. Explosive cast expended, Alex forced to flash away. Driver now in the area, but disengage coming out from BYG. Explosive cast with flash is not too bad.
I wonder if that flash actually needed to be used. Had Driver fairly close by, but maybe just felt like it would take too much damage otherwise. That Gragasol being used, though, is pretty nice for Mission, who now definitely feels a lot less threat onto him while that flash is down. If he trades on bot side, nature is so low.
Yeah, Ignite isn't quite going to get him.
2 plates already picked up as well, so the bot side for BYG is doing great. Did take a tower shot off the back end, has a lot of potions and even some cookies as well.
Yeah, that's actually quite big though. It means that Ellen is a lot more comfortable staying around for this wave, even when Feng had 6.
And most likely will just commit to that reset. So Alan, he's going to be able to kind of catch up a little bit in CS off of this, but the play's already given over. And Varus probably won't relent on this. And something just about the lethality Varus in general is, it's honestly held their thoughts. We'll take a look at what happened bot side. It looks like a W onto Feng. The hook was matched. And so a lot of damage would have ended up being traded over onto Nature.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, he dropped very, very low. I did manage to get out, and Feng crucially took that tower shot. As we return to live, though, what I was saying about the Varus is the lethality Varus, I think, had a very low win rate in the PCS, but the main reason was because it was always matched by the lifesteal and healing that would come out of the Zeri. And I think that was even back in the Yuumi days as well, which made it even more difficult. And I think now, if you look at the side of Impunity, this poke should definitely stick. There's not going to be lifesteal or any sort of sustain to speak of for a pretty long time. And Feng, he did look very good on the pick, even when it was kind of struggling to find success. I might go as far as to say it's one of his best champions, probably in those top 3. So he's already got himself a sizable lead in the early game, and will he be able to find more?
Yeah, definitely very excited to see where this takes him in the mid game as well. We've yet to see him pop his first ult. I have to feel like that will kind of define the rest of the game for him, whether or not he's able to find value right off the bat. And it becomes a lot more scary for Impunity as well, having to deal with that constant pressure of CC followed up by Kino's point and click stuff as well.
It does seem difficult. Herald now is being looked at from the side of BYG. They currently have control over mid, and I think it's very difficult for Mission to face check. You can see where 1116 is positioning on the Gragas. There's no way Mission can walk this way, and with the BYG bot lane coming up as well, this should be Herald all but secured, and you have to think, Mission?
116, actually, yeah, body slams away, doesn't quite... Yeah, it doesn't feel like quite up to it, but wait, Driver's going in by himself. Likai trading onto him. Explosive cast once again flashed away. And BYG picking up a Rift Shield for themselves.
And that's kind of worrying, although a lot of gold, I think, was traded back by the Beyond bot lane. Looks like by the Impunity bot lane, managed to pick up 2 plates of their own. Yeah, so pretty nice here, I think, is a trade, but that bot tower will most likely fall when the Herald comes in. Alex, he's very, very deep. That was
Alex,
maybe not the angle.
Yeah, blast going straight over. Kino tries to look for the flash hook, but doesn't quite connect. Now going to be turning his sights to the rest of them, but is actually in range for the ult. Now Feng following up with the ultimate of his own. Nature trying to buy as much time as possible. Does get rid of just before he's able to touch with Feng, though, finding the first blood, going the way of 116, followed up by Feng as well, finding the snipe onto Nature.
And Nature, unfortunately there, he tried to get Alex out on the Wukong, and all he really did was make sure he died as well. Was very unfortunate. Maybe Mission can trade one plate back here, but that is now the gold lead found here. And it should be the bot tower most likely falling, as Herald is dropped there already. And this is going to be such a huge gold lead now for Feng. It's going to be so strong in any of these early game fights. As we're going to replay, and I think Alex should have been out, but he hit the blast cone at the wrong angle. Did manage to dodge the hook, but does not have the flash. Remember, was kind of wasted in that top side. And Nature, you know, they could have just let Alex die, but they try to go for more. Did just get CC'd up by the Chain of Corruption and, you know, almost managed to make it out. Even committed the flash and was still sniped out by Feng at the end. And honestly, kind of disastrous there from Impunity. I think, honestly, could have both got out if they played it better.
Yeah, for sure. But BYG ultimately coming out on top with a small gold lead for themselves as well. And the first dragon picked up. Definitely a great start for them in this crucial Game 3.
Yeah, you have to think with how strong this Varus is, there should be no way for Impunity to contest this next dragon. And most likely the second one will be started here. There's a lot of BYG members in the area. Mission's going for his reset. I think going towards the Leandries. Should be picked up, you would have to think. Yeah, does now have a... And top lane is actually starting to go the way of Driver, kind of just showing, ooh, nice trade onto Lakai as well. You know, all series long has found himself advantages in the 1v1, and this game is no exception. Has this... Oh, Nature. He's looking on the Kino. Is that the right target, though?
Oh, gets taken down very low, but actually not that much at all. I take it back. Kongya looking for some damage of his own. Back onto Nature. Pops the ultimate, but isn't able to find that kill. BYG now looking for the Chemtech Drake. There is vision on it. Alex might look for the steal, but it's going to be secured by Kongya in the end.
You know, gets the hook onto the clone, but will be nothing more than that.
Body slam onto the clone as well.
Thunderstun is used as well. Needs to be a little careful. Does just have to path out on that top side. And actually, it's turret gold that somehow favors Impunity. They managed to get 3 top, 1 mid, and also 2 bot, I believe it was. So despite the fact that the Herald went over, they actually managed to trade up really just off the back of their solo laners. Particularly impressive, I think, for Driver, who, you know, was counterpicked, did lose his flash at level 1, and still finds himself with an advantage. Although it is BYG, who are in firm control of the game, have themselves a gold lead, as well as the 2 dragons to their name.
Mission is also slowly but surely getting stronger, finding so many good trades onto 1116 on the Gragas. Definitely what you'd expect from the matchup. But good to see the Mission as remaining that stabilizing force for Impunity.
Definitely is, and I think 1116 now does have that Rod of Ages, so we'll start scaling into this. And, you know, I think this, the comp of BYG well and truly online at this point, especially the Varus, has so much lethality before Atlan even has his Mythic. And that's going to make this next fight more difficult. Impunity probably going to be forced to contest the next one, and while they aren't particularly, you know, super far behind, they're not in a great spot. Perhaps still have the better 5v5 though. You can't feel like Lakai will want to come to these team fights at least too early. If they can maybe make it a 4v4 instead, bring Driver away from that fight, you might see that play out better for them. Second Herald spawning in just a minute 45, and I think if you can grab that on the side of Beyond, break that mid tower, it opens up the map a lot for the Varus. Kind of pressure a lot more aggressively. As Fang, he's getting orders on this tower.
Oh, actually it does get knocked up by Nature. Now Kino turning around and just evaporating him from the map. Completely deleted Feng, finding yet another kill for himself. Now 2-0 on the Varus with a 20 CS lead as well.
Yeah, Chains of Corruption even missed and Nature still went down. You've got to start me wondering, what on earth is this guy looking for? Because I think he's on a different rift than we are. As another hook might come out, does go wide onto Atlan. And 0-2 onto Nature. It hasn't looked particularly great on the Rakan, but has been prioritized very highly all series long. And now Driver, perhaps the trades with this Divine Sunray completed aren't going as well for him. His tower's looking very, very healthy though. Fiora hasn't managed to get anything just yet, and Fiora is one of those champs that is more of a time bomb in the side lane. Not expecting it to have a huge individual lead, perhaps, you know, can get a little bit of CS, but not going to be really clearing those towers until later on.
Yeah.
But Driver, I think, you know, credit to him, you have to feel he's just a stronger laner than Lakai overall, because even in those previous games, had himself very sizable leads, and taking 3 plates in the 1v1 is something you can be very, very happy about. His mission will be the one that moves towards top, so perhaps he can be the beneficiary of all that work that Driver got done and grab that top tower. Although Herald now 15 seconds away. Mission and Alex, they're in the river nice and early, but they can be engaged on. There's a lot of pick potential from the side of BYG.
Bing actually hasn't landed too much poke, but Kino flashing forward, finding not much actually. Now Alex looking for the counter engage. Kino dropped very low. It's going to get picked up by Alex there. Now BYG have got Impunity on 2 sides, but without Kino, that frontline force, it's so hard for him to enter the river.
A lot of sums used, and I really hope we get a replay of that, because that was extremely well played from Impunity. Mission was actually standing on a ward and was engaged on. As Beyond, they might look to turn back on it. They're going to try and deny at least picking up the Herald. I think Nature should be able to get it and get out.
116 actually gets blocked with the Grand Entrance, forced to use his flash instead. Driver flashing forward, finding the stun onto Fing, forces the flash out of him as well. Now BYG, they're turning around, trying to see if they can find anything at all, but Impunity wisely backing off.
Looks like they will not. So nice win there from Impunity. I think managing to grab that Herald, especially ahead of the next Dragon, is very, very important. And crucially, while they are behind in their AD carry, overall, gold is looking fairly even for them, especially in that mid lane. A 40 CS lead currently for Mission is going to be a lot stronger than the Rod of Ages Gragas at this next drag, and that's really what you need out of Mission. We'll get this replay. So Mission, I believe he's on a ward, disengages, and then Alex blocks the next one and flashed out straight after. So really well played there from Alex. Nature, once again, didn't really find himself much, was just rooted up by the Chains of Corruption.
Hey, he tried his best.
He did at least zone off, to his credit. But it's so important that Mission managed to keep his flash for this fight, because he is such an easy target for the side of Beyond, as they have the control first.
Yeah. You talk about flashes as well. Beyond have none to their name for this upcoming fight as well, so it does feel a little bit scary for them. It's a lot easier for Nature to try and find an angle, and it kind of seems like he needs all the help he can get.
Really does, and I think Beyond, you probably give up this Dragon and try let your Fiora push down top. Yeah, Fiora doesn't have TP, so there's no way she can join. This should... Ooh, nice cast.
So much damage on Nature.
Yeah, maybe Beyond can try contest 4v5. I think probably just want to play with them a little. Just try and waste their time.
Is it half HP? Driver looking for some sort of flank. Is a little bit late on this, but BYG, they're not actually able to enter the river too much. Dragon goes the way of Impunity, but Leakai doing a little bit of damage in the top lane.
Yeah, he grabs the top tower, but I think the bot tower might fall here as well. So overall, it's just going to be a better trade for the side of Impunity. And while you do get gold on that Fiora, which helps you split push win condition.
Although, this mid tower is really big for BYG.
It looks like it's just going to go down for free. So that's actually ended up pretty good there for Beyond. They managed to trade up 2 towers. It was a pretty extended kind of series of macro there, but I think Beyond overall do trade up a little in gold, and having 2 drags already does give you that ability to just trade one over for a little bit of gold back. And I wonder...
likely going to be the mid tower.
Another
again
tower
in response. Destruction all across the rift.
Yeah, it looks like it will probably go down. There are no members around. Konga, he's going to try what he can. Mission.
Mission finds a stun onto 2. Instant Cyclone to follow up. He's off the map. Fing shut down by Mission. Double kill for him as well. 116 doesn't connect the body slam with anyone. Konga now dealing a little bit of damage. 116 actually does find Mission with a huge fang from Leakai as well. Picking up another kill for themselves, but still going to be a net positive for Impunity.
Yeah, it was that 2 for 1. And then also the top tower picked up there for Drive, and the mid tower did end up going down anyway. So overall, you know, despite being down goal before that, Impunity actually pulled themselves ahead, as we'll see. Mission, he finds himself a nice flank, and Feng probably has no business being here. Did not respect at all the flank that can come out of Mission, and did not have members ready on the map. It was a double kill picked up by Mission. The solo AP of their team flashed out, but it was Lekai who kind of just, you know, ended up in the fight. Mission, nowhere to go. I think Conway is the one who picked up the kill, but I feel like that might not be the best. I feel like the Viego doesn't really offer a whole lot at this point. It is Prowler's Claw now picked up by the Varus, but I think really the 5v5 should always go the way of Impunity from now on. It really comes down to how much can Lekai get done in the side lane, but you know, Driver, a 30 CS lead as well as a level lead. I'm not sure if Fiora is going to actually get a lot done.
Yeah, having that Bramble vest as well now really limits how much survivability Leakai has in the side lane. Really all on him to try and find something and build those advantages for BYG, but so far he hasn't had much to show for it.
Really hasn't. Now the Gragas is kind of looking for some engage mid. Mission does not have his flash, so if he steps up too far, could find himself a victim of BYG's engage. There are a lot of members around though. I think Impunity want to force something before Fiora gets set up in the side.
Oh, Driver might be in trouble here. Gets body slammed, stunned up. Dropped to half HP. Stuns up 116 as well. Nature is looking for something. Finds... actually doesn't find the Grand Entrance onto Mini. Does get taken down as well. 2 kills now for BYG. They're looking for more. Mission. There's the target now. Gets hooked by Kino. Cycling to try and defend against that thing. Dishing out a little bit of damage, but Kino actually gets taken out by Alex. Now Atlan getting looked on. Pops the ultimate as well. Has flash available too. Flashing over the wall. Leakai's still going to chase him down. Has the ghost popped. And it's going to make short work of Atlan now. Cleanse as well. Expended, but no luck for him. Leakai finding a kill for himself. BYG coming back into this game.
Yeah, it was very nice there. Mission might not be out of the woods just yet. He has Alex around him. Unfortunately, BYG, they don't have the DPS to do the Baron, especially with that poke Varus, but they get themselves some more gold, and this mid-tier 2 going down is a nice gold swing as well. And I kind of want to see how that happened. I mean, Nature maybe looking for something. TP comes in from Driver.
Oh, this could be a big flank. I don't know if he's quite going to have enough. It's actually Mission. Doesn't connect the stun. I think that's going to be all she wrote. Impunity trying to get something on the back end of that while BYG weren't expecting it, but that stun missing is really all it takes.
It is, and the replay, I mean, Driver, he thought he had himself a flank, wanted to try force Leakai away from the side lane, start a team fight, but was just taken out so early, and Nature, he again tried to follow up, but to be honest, there is just nothing behind him anyway. There isn't going to be any follow-up there, and Mission without the flash was just engaged on. This time, Alex couldn't block in time, admittedly was very, very close. But after this, Atlan unfortunately went a bit too far forward, and with the ghost from Leakai, can just always chase him down. Invested the ult, flash, and the cleanse, and still was chased down.
Your things.
Yeah, I think very nice pickup here, especially for Leakai. Needs all the gold he can get if he wants to take over the side lane. 30 seconds on what is the 3rd drag here for BYG. I think potentially give this one up as well and just let Fiora keep going in the side. She doesn't have the ghost, so probably doesn't want a team fight. But she's not set up for that, and I wonder if this will just be a dragon given over for nothing.
It is spawning in 15 seconds now. Both teams not really sure on which side they want to approach. BYG actually leaning more towards the Baron side of the map, clearing out a little bit of vision.
Taking a look at the player gold, Feng so far ahead here, almost 2,000 gold, I think, ahead of Atlan. As well as, Driver around 600 ahead of the Fiora, still very important for that side lane matchup. It looks like the drag will just go the way of Impunity. Top tower is being looked at though, and Driver, I wonder if he's going to TP up to that, or if it will just be another top tower going the way of Beyond. It looks like it will. There's nothing to stop them here, and I think if you can give Leakai that gold, it's going to be very, very good. Might even be ahead of Driver in the 1v1 now.
Yeah, I think that giving away that Cloud Drag shards, it's not the best, but I think giving that little bit of extra boost to Leakai's build definitely is going to pay dividends in the near future.
For sure. Now, I think the 5v5 should still go the way of Impunity, but it's not as clear-cut as before. There is just a lot of gold on the side of Beyond overall, and that split push win condition, it's starting to become more and more realistic as Fiora gets stronger and stronger. As well as Atlan is so far behind that unless they can kind of get some initial pick, I think they are going to get out DPS in the long run. While Kai'Sa has better DPS than Varus, is just so far behind in items that it almost doesn't matter. Mission, though, maybe he can be the one to provide a lot of that, is now going towards that Zhonya's, so really feeling that up against the Nautilus as well as the Gragas engage does just need that.
I think Mr. Cannon.
Oh, it happens. It looks like it is BYG that have control over the Baron, and one kind of big weakness of having the poke Varus is that it does make it quite difficult to start up these objectives. But do they really need to? We can just play for the team fights as well as the Fiora split push. Fiora's actually chasing Renekton on the bot side now. As Impunity, they're going to regain some of this control, and I wonder if they will try and force stuff early. It can be really hard, I think, to start the Baron, because while you want to do that to bring the Fiora away from the side, starting a Baron up against Gragas and Varus seems like a death sentence.
Yeah, and top of that, definitely does feel like the tone of this top lane matchup has shifted a little bit. League, being the one to chase away Driver, really just goes to show his strength at this point in the game on the Fiora.
Isn't Navori now completed on the Kai'Sa? So Atlan, despite being down on items, I think has kind of hit his stride now. And I wonder, third drag isn't really a necessity for either team to contest at this point. Can give it away for something like the Baron or more towers as Alex. He needs to be really careful.
Yeah, he's really playing with fire. 1116 had the explosive cask available as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't get committed, honestly, given how low a cooldown it is.
Yeah.
But Wall's just held on to, and Lakai is going to be the one to gobble up this blue buff.
Oh, Fing, caught out position again. Actually flashes away, uses the heal as well, just for good luck. Nature expending his ultimate as well, but not able to get close enough to find the CC. Still, though, both summoners burned on Fing. It's going to be pretty big for the side of Impunity.
Definitely an important pickup. Having those sums on the Varus obviously has a lot of range, but does make positioning quite a bit more difficult. And Lakai is still down a level, but must be close to 15 himself. And it looks like the side of Impunity, Alex and Mission, they're pushing pretty hard on this top side. Actually going to look like they're going to back off. So Beyond, now kind of controlling this top side jungle. Like they may just back off here on Mission. Alex is actually quite far behind enemy lines. I think he's taking a red buff currently. Is he going to be able to get that and get out? He has a really big flank on the Feng. TP comes out. Feng is in big trouble.
Oh, Fing once again getting locked on. Alex finds a Cyclone. Alan following up with the ultimate means that Fing is down for the count. 40-second death time on him. Impunity now turning their sights towards the Baron.
I think you have to start it up. You've got the Varus off the table and you need to bring this Fiora away from the side. I think Lakai will just look to keep going. And the rest of BYG, you want to delay this as much as you can, but I'm not sure there's anything that can be done. Maybe Kongyue can play for a steal.
Yeah, Baron is dropping very low now at 3k HP. 116 does have the explosive card still available. Doesn't quite find the smite. Impunity are going to secure that one. Kongyue forces the stopwatch. It's going to get shut down, and now a lot of Baron recalls coming out means that Leakai isn't going to be able to finish off this turret unless...
I think he might get it, but it's going to have to run straight afterwards. Overall, it is still Beyond that are ahead in gold, but the Baron now picked up by Impunity. What can they get done with this? It makes it very hard for Fiora to actually pressure the map while this Baron is up. And I think as Impunity here, you try and take as much as you can. We'll see the replay. It was such a wide flank here coming out of Alex onto the flashless Varus, who was taken out with pretty much no fanfare at all. And after that, Impunity, they just managed to pick it up. We'll return to live. And I think very important that you put your Baron buff 3 damage done by Renekton. Very important, I think, that you put your Baron buff in the lane that Fiora is splitting. Try and make sure that she can't get anything done. And if you can, try and break open the base with this. Fiora, she is going to go for the reset. It looks like she's actually going to path out bot. So it's just going to be trying to play to defend the Baron, but not sure they really can.
Yeah.
Mid tier 2 goes over.
Impunity really just trying to boost up the pace as much as possible, choking BYG out, forcing them inside their base. And Leakai as well, not able to deal as much damage in the side lane as he would want.
It is now the second tier 2 picked up, which again put Impunity back in the lead. I want to see the goal graph for this game. Feel like it has been an actual roller coaster. But can Impunity get anything more? They still have a minute and a half on Baron, and there isn't the best wave clear.
Kino finds the hook, followed up by the body slam as well. Explosive cast 2. Driver's is able to just dash out of there. Forces the flash though. Not too bad of a look there from BYG, and crucially as well, forcing them off that bot lane inhibitor turret.
Yeah, it looks like instead they will just go back towards this Cloud Dragon. And it will be the third one picked up for Impunity, but like you said, it's not the most, not the most crucial soul. I guess it's still playable into, although, on the likes of Rakan and Kai'Sa, it can be quite hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Recalls will come through though, and most likely that'll be it for the Baron. So was a 2,000 Baron power play there for the side of Impunity, and I think definitely should feel very confident in the 5v5. It really comes down to Lakai, who now has the Hullbreaker. Should be well and truly ahead in the side lane now. Impunity, though, they're going to try push out these waves. I think if they can always put members in the lane that Fiora is pushing, it can be very hard for Lakai to actually get a lot done. Now this Shirelli gets popped there for Nature.
Fing still, still a little bit ahead in that bot lane matchup, but you have to feel like this Varus is starting to slowly lose effectiveness as the game goes on. Hasn't started building his armor pin item as well. What's it called again?
Serelda's?
That's the one.
Yeah, hasn't even gone towards it yet. And I think that's such a big spike, especially if you look at the armor.
Yeah.
Even the kind of innate armor that comes out of Wukong's passive here is quite a big deal. Look, he's in that bot side, but the wave is so far away. And Impunity, they're trying to force something before Fiora gets set up. They currently just have the top side control. Maybe they can break this top tier 2? Kind of see. Lakai's actually backing off, maybe scared of where Mission is. Isn't showing on the map currently, but will reveal himself here. And that should allow Lakai to pressure again. Kongwei's going to enter and find Alex. Ooh, so they run away from each other. Now, 1v1 is going on bot side. I think Lakai looked for a short trade. And now Outland pressuring this top tier 2. There's a lot of wave clip for 116. Has the explosive cask as well. It is so hard to get stuff done into the Gragas, especially without that Baron. And 2 more minutes on that. Have to kind of defend Lakai until then.
And Impunity committing a lot of members towards this top side, whereas Lakai wreaking a lot of havoc in the bot lane. He's so close to the base as well. And Driver, at this point in the game, isn't able to do much to shut him down. Lakai's just chasing him down.
Yeah, he's trading well, but isn't enough damage dealt to really get to the inhib. Kind of doesn't feel like it. It's just going to be forced to back away. And because Impunity has so much priority in the rest of the map, can always just be the ones to recall first. Put someone in Lakai's lane. And I'd really like to see the side of Impunity push out this bot wave really far ahead of the Baron. Try and make sure that you have as much time as possible to start it up before Lakai is in a position to force you into that kind of difficult position where you kind of have to just force the Baron down or else lose your base.
Yeah, it does feel like it's kind of like that disaster scenario where Fiora is able to sort of pull you between both places and really stretch you thin. BYG really hoping for that, but Lakai now kind of grouping up a little bit, but now heading back towards the bot lane, back to his sanctuary.
Yeah, and I wonder, there's members from Impunity going down bot side. It might be better if you honestly just ignore the Baron for now and just keep pressuring the Fiora lane, because if you can just make it so the Dragon is the next win con.
Yeah, Lakai has to be really careful here. A lot of control going down on the bot side for Impunity. Haven't been spotted out now though, so Lakai is going to roughly know what's going on here.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
so
never mind.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, a lot of CC actually saved up for the parry. Now he's charmed up, and I don't know if he's going to make it out. Actually shut down, picked up for Nature. Now Kino, ooh, Chains of Corruption do land. Now Allen taken out instantly. Oh, Nature's going to be the next target as well. Double kill in response from BYG. Big looks from them, especially after, Lakai gets caught out.
Yeah, 2 kills back on the side of Beyond, but I'm not sure they can actually do the Baron off of it. It always feels like if you grab 2 kills at this kind of point in the game, it should be the easiest Baron of your life. Kongwei, though, he spotted out on the flank, and Mission, he needs to be very careful.
He has got Driver waiting in the wings as well, but Mission, ooh, 116 actually trades flashes with him, I think. Now Feng looking for Driver. 116 might get the body slam over the wall, does connect. Driver forces the ultimate out as well. They're going to slowly chase him down. Lots of damage coming out. It's hard to see Driver making it out of this alive. It's going to get taken out by Kongya in the end.
Buys himself a lot of time though, and Ping's coming back on the Baron. Lakai's about to be up with TP.
Oh no, Alex might be the target. Kino connects the hook. No decoy available now. GA is up and available for Alex, so Lakai taking him out. I don't think he's going to make it out of this one alive. Nature's going to try his best once again to save his jungler. The limited success, but wait, Allen, he's going straight in the backline, finding Feng as well, finding a shutdown onto him, and now he's cleaning up 116, now the target Kino as well. Oh, Lakai is turning his sights onto the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa's cutting out so well, though he's by himself. Nature falls down, Allen is going to be next. Kino does fall, but ultimately, BYG, they get the ace for themselves and likely the Baron as well.
They do, and heartbreak there for Allen. Had himself an insane
He was going crazy.
Yeah, I think that could have been, for sure, a highlight reel play, especially if they won the fight. Something very crucial that happened in there was that the Syndra ult was actually eaten by the Viego passive. When you pick up someone, you're temporarily invulnerable and didn't take all that damage, and I think that could have been the difference maker. So ultimately, Beyond, now with the Baron, the Fiora should be in an extremely good position, as we'll see. Alex, he's engaged on very early. TP comes in from Lakai. Did manage to buy himself a lot of time here, which allowed the rest of Impunity to come. And Nature, I think, to his credit, actually did buy a lot of time as well.
Yeah.
But pay attention, I think, to the Syndra ult. You'll kind of see, it's such a big cooldown at this point, but it's just completely deleted And then Atlan off the back end, was giving himself pretty much a Uzi performance here. Dodged pretty much everything. And I really want to see how much damage he did in that fight, but just didn't have the teammates around him to do it. He actually dodged everything.
Oh, but look at the Dragon setup now. 116 actually caught out way out of position, forced the stopwatch as well, but there's no teammates available to protect him from death. Does dish out a lot of damage with the explosive cast. Kongya, on the other hand, finds Driver. That's a huge pickup for them. Now Kino looking for Atlan. Atlan has a Guardian Angel available. Hook isn't going to be able to be found. Now Kino forces stopwatch for himself. Lots of people going golden in this fight.
I think if you're BYG, you can play this slow. Try and force mid with the Baron.
He's just going straight for the wave. He knows that they need more than one to answer him, and with Driver down for the count, it means that it's going to have to be Atlan and someone else.
Yeah, Atlan. Ooh. I don't think he can go on in the 1v1, but Dragon has started up.
Impunity is still looking to trade here. Feng forced the stopwatch by himself. Mission does have the ultimate available. It is going to take him out. Down for the count now. Kongya looking for the Dragon. It's at 3k. It's going to be reset. Alex is out, so BYG, there's no smite to contest him here. Kino, it's hard for him to look, though. Likai is slowly making his way in on the flank. Kongya ulting away to safety. Now, Impunity, they're in a bit of a weird spot. Likai, though, has turned his attention back towards the mid lane. BYG actually not caring much about this Dragon. Impunity is scared to finish it, though. Nature zoning him out so that Impunity can secure the Cloud Soul for themselves. Kongya going to try and buy as much time as he can here, while Likai, he's taking down the base inhibitor. Guardian Angel popped. Kino, I don't know if he can do much here. Impunity 3 members. Kongya gets shut down by Atlan. Now going to try and recall 116. Going to do his best to try and disrupt as much as possible. Meanwhile, in the bottom left, you can see Likai is looking for that second inhibitor as well as Driver actually taking him down very, very low. But I think that is going to be the end of this play. BYG, it's pretty even on both sides.
Yeah, I think the game still remains on a knife's edge. It's 2 inhibs there picked up from the back end by Lakai, but this Dragon Soul was now picked up, and that's going to make Atlan even more difficult to deal with in the team fight. Was down 2,000 gold to Feng at some point, but now having himself great performances in the team fight. Importantly as well, Conrad lost his GA, which is a very big deal, I think, for the Viego especially. And now, but with 2 inhibs down, Fiora can just look to push, either just through one of those inhib lanes and threaten the Nexus towers, or even just push that last remaining lane. And it's so hard, I think, for Impunity to leave their base. Now, inhibs will respawn, I believe, at about the same time that the Elder Drag spawns. But this does make a very scary situation where those inhibs are going to be down, and Beyond could use that to pressure the Baron.
Yeah, definitely a lot of potential for macro play here from BYG. They have to be really careful with how they play this. Impunity, on the other hand, going to be looking for some sort of pick as soon as possible to make sure that Likai isn't able to roam freely in the bot lane. Or
they're going to look for something early before Lakai gets set up.
BYG, they know something's up. They're trying to stay as far away from that side bush as possible.
I think the engage now is so potent with that Cloud Soul.
Oh, Driver though.
The flank.
He's actually going to get spotted out. Kongya instantly flashing in, finds the root as well. Lots of damage coming out onto Driver. Is going to get taken out in the end. Kino finds the hook. Feng finding the kill for himself. Driver once again picked off before the fight can start. And Impunity now scrambling to see if they can try and regain some sort of control over the map.
They do have to back away very far and beyond. I think they could probably just chase them. If they can cancel more recalls here, it allows Lakai to just pressure the Nexus towers. Nature, I think he's out. And will do so, but Lakai, he has himself a massive wave here.
Kino might actually find Alex here. Oh, not quite.
Very close. Does not quite, and resets will all come through. Now, I don't think anything will actually come of that kill other than buying, just a little more time.
Yeah, Feng has to be really careful. He's all by himself in the mid lane, forced to flash away. Alex trying as quickly as he can to close the gap. Now, Mission on the flank. 116 is going to find him, though, followed up by the hook from Kino. Is going to get stopwatch. Kongya not able to connect the stun, but is likely going to finish Mission off here. Finding the reset for himself is going to be massive. Meanwhile, Likai still pressuring that bot lane. It means that Impunity, they can't look for any further picks.
I don't think they can, and their base is now in trouble. There's a lot of creeps coming in. The TP as well from the Gragas.
Oh, this could be a potential game-end opportunity for BYG. Alex trying to pop out with the Cyclone to buy as much time as possible. GA forced once again, but his teammates can't follow up. It's going to decoy and flash out of there. Nature gets his Grand Entrance interrupted. Kino doesn't connect the hook. Atlan taking so much damage. Feng actually finds Nature on the back end of that. Likai going in so deep. BYG, this could just be the game 3 for them. Atlan trying to deal damage. But ultimately, BYG 39 minutes in the game, picking up yet another win for themselves.
Yeah, now 2-1 in the series. Very nice there from BYG. Once again, win on that red side. You have to think now Impunity will be looking back on the red side for game 4. But that game, I mean, I felt like Impunity were actually in a pretty good spot there, but unfortunately threw it all away. I think, honestly, put way too much priority on that 4th Dragon when they could have just defended their inhibs and continued to win the 5v5s. Instead, once the inhib falls, it makes it very, very difficult. And even then at the end, they just got Varus's flash, right? It looked like he was in a pretty good spot for the upcoming